Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please do let me know, guys. Hello everyone, I hope that I'm live right now, guys. If you guys are able to listen to me properly as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please do let me know. Actually, I was running a bit late from office. I just arrived from the office right now. That is the reason why I'm not wearing any t-shirt or something. There's a lot of work that needed to be done. So I've completed that finally. And right now I'm able to take up the class. I'm so sorry. Like it was just 3 minutes that I was late. I tried to be on time, but getting all this setup done for me, it took me some 5 minutes to complete it. Okay. So no issues in that, guys. So let me know. How was your day, guys? How was your day? No problem. Great. Amazing. Good. Superb. Okay. Some people very bad. Oh, what happened to you, Prithvi? Okay, no issues in that. Not good. No issues in that. So, see, what I'm telling you guys is if you guys want to achieve something in your life, okay, try to be a bit high performance, okay, high performance in your day-to-day life itself. Right now, I'm having my job as a software engineer. I'm conducting these free boot camps. I take up some training sessions in the night itself. So, this DevTown portion I've set up because I love teaching. I don't know why I love teaching. I just love to meet new people itself. And when I was in college, I didn't had these facilities. Okay, I didn't had people going around me, mentoring me in the right path and everything. And I thought that it would be available online as well. So I started researching about courses and everything, and I got to know that any course that I liked, according to me, I'm a software engineer at Google. Any course that I liked, that okay, this is something that can help me get placed. It was 3,50,000 rupees. I was like, hey, that's more than my tuition fees itself for almost like 3 years of my college life. So I was like, hey, dude, this is not possible. Let's start it on our own itself. That's the reason why we founded DevTalk. But that is also not sufficient enough for me. So I was like, hey, this is something of my hobby. I do this. That's great. What about a real startup? A startup that is actually, I can call it as my own itself. DevTown is more of a community itself, that I want to set up a community. I'm talking to you guys are talking to me. We are able to do some good for the society. So that's fine. That's good. So I won't be going to hell. At least I can aim to get into heaven itself. But I want to do something on my own. So in the night, at night time, between like 11 to 2 in the night, I work upon my own startup. So it's related to agriculture, startup ecosystem, and real estate itself. So as you're able to see, if you want to do something good in your life, you have to spend a lot of time. I enjoy with my friends. If you have ever connected with me on Instagram, I go out with my friends, I party a lot. I do everything. But if you want to achieve something in your life, you need to have a one-sided goal that I want to get this, I will do anything to get that. Right now, that is to get into a good company. You can get into a 30 company as well at 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs per annum. You won't be able to enjoy life. Okay, if you're getting somewhere like Google that is paying you 60 lakhs per year, if you're getting into Amazon that is paying you 34, 35, 36 lakhs per year, Walmart or Microsoft, these type of companies are giving you so much that you will always be happy. Okay, and you will be able to work on your own hobbies as well. If I was working in some shitty ass company, like I won't say any names, but if I was earning like 3 lakh, 4 lakh rupees per month, per year itself, in that case, I wouldn't be able to focus on my hobbies that are there right now. So always try to make sure that no matter how shitty your day goes, okay, no matter how shitty your day goes, whatever you have planned in your mind that, okay, I need to solve 5 questions related to coding, I need to attend one boot camp, I need to learn a new technology itself, you get it done anyhow. Okay, anyhow. And for those guys who say money can't buy happiness, first have a lot of money. It can buy you anything that you want. Okay, only those people who have a lot of money can say that money can't buy happiness, because they have achieved that state of nirvana for them. For us normal humans, we haven't. So for us to just say that, this is saying in Hindi, or as angur khatte hain, the grapes are sour. If you are not able to get the grapes, we'll be like, grapes are sour, it's sour, I don't want it. First achieve that, then say that you don't want it. Then I can assume that, okay, yeah, you can say that right now. Okay. Okay, great. So my father always says this to me. In Hindi, it's a saying, पैसा ही सब कुछ नहीं होता, but सब कुछ ही पैसे से होता है. Money is not everything, but everything can be done by money. Okay, so focus upon it. At the end of the day, you need to get a good job. If you're having a good job, you're having a good pay, you're able to help your parents out, you're able to get a good wife, a good husband, you're able to raise your kids as you like. Okay, so now managing that money is up to you. If you're spending it on like alcohol and drugs and something, that is your fault, not the money's fault. Okay. Okay, great. So almost everybody is live with us. Yesterday we have done a bit of HTML. Today we are going to start off with React.js. Okay, today we are going to start off with React.js, guys. Can we start off with this, guys? Please do let me know. So CSS, we will be doing it when we reach to that particular. So there's something called styling in React. Okay, once we're done with a bit of React.js, there's something that will reach a point where we'll be utilizing CSS. At that point itself, I will be teaching you guys CSS as well. Why to waste so much time? The basics are done. So we'll be starting with React.js. We'll get the basic, how to create a component, how to use a component, all that we will get it done. Why React is important, what is React. Once we have built 80% of the entire thing, when the CSS portion comes, there itself I will teach you guys the CSS and we'll get the project done like in minutes. Okay, we'll be able to get it done in minutes itself. So are you guys ready for this? Please let me know. And see, sometimes I might curse. Okay, I curse a lot. A lot is an understatement, but don't take it personally. It's just how I am. Okay, I just want to make sure that, see, you are also a college student, I was also a college student. Okay, so we know we college students curse a lot, so there shouldn't be any problems with that. Okay, so don't take it personally, just make sure that you are having a great time. And let's get started with React.js itself. So let me first ask you one particular question. This is, I don't expect you to know the answer. I don't. Okay, I don't expect you to know the answer, but still, just a little bit. Who created React? I don't want, see, like I said, for any bootcamp that we are conducting, we have no prerequisites. The only thing is you should be able to understand English. That's it. But who created React, guys? Okay, people know. Shit. And I thought that nobody will know. I will be like, I'm a very Jnani Purush. I'm like a guru itself, and I will be like, it's Facebook. And it didn't happen. So great. So many of the people actually know that Facebook created React.js itself. So my plan failed. Let's focus upon learning about React.js itself. So what happens right now is that when you are working, so let's first try to understand, why do we use React? Okay, what is React? We'll be answering after that. Or we can start off with that as well. Let's figure it out. Let's first search about React on Google. Let's go to google.com. Okay, I have not opened up the live chat on my mobile phone. Give me a second or two. How many of you guys follow FIFA, like the World Cup? That I think so. It's FIFA or it's World Cup. I don't know. I don't know anything about like. I'm that kind of guy. If you ask me who Ronaldo is, I'll be like, he's the guy. He plays football. That's the only thing that I know about him. Okay, so, but yeah, it's great for some people. For me, sports have never been a strong suit of me. As you are able to see, I'm a very fat person. So for fat people, it's like food. If you ask me about something, I can help you guys out with the same itself. So let's open up Google and let's search for React. Okay. As soon as we are able to open up React, the first link, this is React's official documentation. Now, please remember one thing, guys. When you are a software engineer or you are aiming to be a software engineer, reading the official documentation of a particular technology is an extremely important characteristic. Okay, it's an extremely important characteristic for becoming a software engineer. A software engineer needs to be good at two things. First, googling shit out. Okay, how to use Google. That's the first thing that you need to be good at. The second thing that you need to be good at is reading documentations of different technologies itself, and how to read it and then utilize it in your project. So at any particular point of time, guys, React is a particular JavaScript library for building user interfaces. That is the definition. Okay, that is the definition. Let's try to understand in normal layman sense, what does that means? So do you guys have a little bit of understanding how houses were made? Like, do you guys have some particular understanding of how houses were made in the past? Like, you had something called as bricks. You laid out bricks that were there, then you used concrete to attach those bricks together, then you had another layer of concrete on top of it, then added bricks on top of it, then put concrete in between them, then put up another layer on that particular system itself, and that is how you are able to create one wall. Okay, so it takes a lot of labor, a lot of people to create a house, because just one wall itself is so much that you have to do. Okay, a lot of work that you have to do right over there. Okay, so you guys are able to understand like how a house was built. Am I right? Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Great. Now that system is good. So that system will consider it as building up a website using, okay, using HTML and CSS. So I saw a question, why in the past, even now the houses are created in this particular way. It's not. It's not okay. If you feel houses are still created in this particular way, then that house is shit. Okay. Don't live in that house. That house is not earthquake safe. So any particular point of time that houses were created, that was the traditional method of creating a house. And the traditional method of creating a website right now is using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Now it takes a lot of time. Okay, you want to create a wall, brick, cement, brick, cement, brick, cement. It's like I'm eating a Subway like burrito or something like that. 50 different stuff put inside of it, and then I'm able to get that burrito. So the same thing, we want our lives to be made easy. Companies wanted to save a lot of money. Money is equivalent to time. At the end of the day, they wanted to save time on labor as well as on materials as well. So what they did right over there was, they created a particular system of framework. You guys know the meaning of the word framework in normal English, guys? Can you guys let me know? Can you guys let me know? Do you guys know the exact meaning of the term framework in normal English? Please do let me know, guys. Okay, so let's try to understand it by this particular example. So initially, when you were creating these houses, you had bricks that were there. Okay, then you had cement in between these bricks. So it will be like cement, 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 cement. Here also a bit of cement, here also a bit of cement, here also a bit of cement. Then again, you will be putting up bricks on top of it. So brick, 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 and again cement. And that is how you are able to create a wall. Now to create a house, there are like almost 100 different walls that you have to create. A lot of time being spent right over there. So what these companies did was, I'm already using so much cement, I'm already spending so much time as well. So what they did was, they kept two planks of wood. Okay, one plank of wood right over here, another plank of wood right over here itself. The thickness of this particular plank of wood, okay, the thickness in between, the space in between these plank of woods itself, they will put iron rods. Okay, they will put iron rods like this. Let's put up some iron rods right over here. So these are two. So of course the iron rods is not like a wire. I know that it looks very thin, but these are like proper iron rods itself. Okay, so you are able to build it right over here. Am I right, guys? Please let me know, guys. Are you able to understand this? Please let me know. Two wooden planks on both the ends, iron rods in between them. Okay, and what they do is, they just take out a boulder of cement, okay, a fuck ton of cement itself, and they pour the cement inside of these like containers. Okay, let it cool down for at least 1 or 2 days, keep on watering it. In 3 days, an entire wall is done. In 3 days, an entire wall is done. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Now, if I want to create a tower, okay, you are able to understand not just a house, a tower, maybe of like 10 floors long. So now my focus is not upon a single wall, it is upon a single floor itself. So what they do right over there? They create a framework of these wooden planks. Okay, they create a framework of these wooden planks. So it will look something like this. Let's assume that Okay, I'm just creating a rough figure right over here. This is how my floor looks like. Okay, this is how my floor looks like. I will create a framework of this walls. Okay, so this is the top view. This is the top view of these wooden planks. These are all wooden planks. The outside wooden plank, the inside wooden plank. This is the top view. I'm seeing from the top itself. Okay, and then they will put up all the iron rods inside of it. So these are all the iron rods that goes inside of it. Here iron rod, 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 iron rod, iron rod, iron rod, iron rod, iron rod. And then I will just pour the cement inside of it. Wait for 3 days, entire floor done. Put up the top of the floor, get one more, this entire thing shifted to the next particular floor, pour cement, done, and so on and so forth. So you are able to create flows not in a matter of multiple months, but in a few days itself. In a few days itself. Are you guys able to understand this? Going brick by brick. Okay, so your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, we'll be looking at that. Your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Using that to build a website is just like using bricks and cements to be able to do it. And using JavaScript is like using this framework. It gets most of this stuff done for you on its own. You just need to focus on building a website. Okay, building the last bit of the code itself that makes it look like a website. Everything else, most of the basic stuff is already done for you. Most of the basic stuff is already done for you. The guy is able to understand this. Of course, we will be looking at this from a perspective of websites as well in the next 5 minutes, but just a basic understanding from a common man's language. I'm trying to explain it to you guys. I can go very technical as well, that the components are there and this and that, and you'll be like, shit, I'm not able to understand anything. But that is not my aim right over here. My aim is to make you guys understand the core essence of stuff. Why is this framework important? Why is React important for us? Okay, so let's try to look at it from a practical standpoint, from a coding standpoint as well. So let us take up a visit on our website called Airbnb. How many of you guys know Airbnb? Can somebody let me know? How many of you guys know Airbnb? Please do let me know. This is nice. Should I like this? Okay, I'll just like this. Let's cut. I'll just log in through my, okay. I like the property. I'm like, hey, dude, I need to save this first of all. Shit. Sign into the account, man. I will not. This is just too much for me. I will just do it at a later point of time. Okay. So as you're able to see, this entire website, one of the biggest internet companies when it comes to like homestays itself. You understand what a homestay is, right? If I'm having a home somewhere, I want to lease it out according to day wise, like a resort itself, I can do that. And that is where the Airbnb comes in. Airbnb, you are having like properties around the world that, why am I promoting Airbnb? Just imagine this is a very big company itself. Okay, you can read about it at a later point of time. So once you're looking at this particular thing, can you identify something that is repeated in this entire website? Anything that is repeated in the entire website, guys? Can you guys let me know? Can you guys let me know? Are you guys able to see something repeated? Some part of this website that is repeated itself again and again on the entire website itself, guys? The picture with captions, Dhruv, that's absolutely correct, guys. Picture with the captions as well. So if I am looking at this from this particular perspective, just this particular portion, I don't know how to take a snippet. Let me just search for it. Got it. Okay, so as you're able to see right over here, let me just draw it out for you guys so that you guys are also able to see it very clearly. These images along with the write-up is something, these cards. Okay, let us call this as a card itself, C-A-R-D, card. This is repeating again and again all over the website. Even if I'm scrolling down on the website, it shows a lot of these cards again and again. Okay, if you are able to see. So each of these cards is what we call as components. in React. Okay, we refer to this, the technical term of this card will be a component itself. Now this component is getting repeated everywhere. What is changing is just the data. The image is changing right over here, the name is changing right over here, how many kilometers it is changing, which dates it is available, what is the price per night. The data is changing. Okay, the data is changing itself. Okay, and the cards are repeating itself. Okay, the cards are repeating itself. Leon, I know you have a lot of questions. I'm trying to make you understand the basic stuff. The difference between a framework and a library is that a framework is something that you don't need to import. Okay, you need to use it. It's like a tool belt. Okay, whereas a library is basically what already exists inside of JavaScript. You can just import it and use it. You can just download it, import it, use it right over there. So that is the technical difference between the two. I'm not right now, you are not at the mental level to understand the technical difference between library and framework. I will be explaining it to you guys if you're going into a very advanced level. Right now, for your purpose, it is to understand how React is able to help you guys out. Okay, so right over here, as you're able to see these cards, only the data is changing. Okay, but the cards are repeating every single time. There's no change in the card itself. So if you are using HTML, CSS and JavaScript, if you are using HTML, the bricks and the cement, HTML, CSS and JavaScript itself, in that particular case, you would have to write the code of this particular card again and again. Okay, if you would have to write this code, so you will have to write the code for this particular card once, then this particular card once, then this particular card once, then this particular card once, and so on and so forth. That's a lot of code that you have to do. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. There's a lot of code that you have to write right over here. Are you able to understand? If you're writing it just using HTML, CSS and JavaScript, you have to write the code for each one of these cards individually. Okay, and it's a lot of code that you have to write. Whereas these components, okay, these components work in such a way that once you're creating a component, okay, a component is itself engulfed website. Okay, think about it as this entire card itself as one website. Okay, this small card as just one website. It will have its very own HTML, it will have its very own CSS, it will have its very own JavaScript itself. Okay, it will have its very own HTML, very own CSS and very own JavaScript, and that will be compiled together into one card. Okay, that will be compiled together just like our entire website. This card can be thought of a small website itself. That is its very own HTML, very own CSS, very own JavaScript that is compiled together to form a component. Okay, that's compiled together to form its very own component itself, guys. Now, instead of writing HTML, CSS and JavaScript again and again and again, you could just use this component. Okay, anytime that you want to recreate this card, use the component once again. And you want 3 particular cards, use that component 3 times. Think about these components as functions. Okay, think about these components as functions in JavaScript. Instead of writing that code again and again and again, you just call that function as many number of times and will just run that particular code for you. Okay, so think about components as functions. Are you able to understand? Are you guys able to relate both of them, guys? Please do let me know. So, but how do they compile all languages into one program? They don't compile them into a single file. You're having one file of HTML, one file of CSS, one file of JavaScript for each component. Each component. Think about a component as its very own website itself, guys. Okay, very own of its very own website itself. Okay, think about components as functions. Okay, think about components as functions. We have already learned functions in JavaScript. Okay, so whenever you want to use a particular function, you just call that function. You don't have to write the code for that particular function. The same thing, whenever you want to use this component, once you have created a component, you want to use that component, you just call that component. That's it. That's it. I've created another card. On 60 different cards, use the component 60 different times. You don't have to write the HTML, CSS and JavaScript code 60 times. Okay, so if you have understood functions when you're learning about that, this shouldn't be a big deal for you guys. This should be very easy for you guys itself. Let's move on to the next particular topic, guys. Next particular usage of React itself. Okay, so let's go to Instagram.com. Are you saying to think about those boxes as function? The code for those boxes as functions. Okay, the code that created that as functions itself. Okay, Okay, so that we'll be learning, Ganesh, how to create components and everything we will be learning. This is the use of React. React has the concept of components that is very important. Okay, so why do we need to require React? So that is one of the benefits of using it. We will be creating that in React itself. Okay, the next particular thing that you are able to see right over here is now, okay, so let me take a screenshot for that as well. Give me a second, guys. Take a new screenshot. Big. Okay, so right over here, when you so most of you guys are like the new generation itself. The older version of Facebook, okay, the older version of Facebook, what happened was you before React, okay, before Facebook was entirely Facebook, Instagram, Walmart, then you're having Microsoft, everybody uses React in the front end. Okay, so before that, before React, when everything was made in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in that particular time, if you wanted to see if you have got a new message or not, if you wanted to see if you have got a new message or not, you had to reload the entire page. You must have seen sometimes using the previous like older versions of websites, you must have seen that you needed to reload the entire web page to check if new messages have come up or not. Okay, are you guys able to relate to this? Are you guys able to relate to this? If I wanted to check whether a particular website we have got new like messages or not, I had to reload. I had to refresh the entire website, not a button. I had to refresh the entire website itself. Okay, to check whether I've got new emails or something or not. Okay, so that happens a lot of different times, but it does not happens right now when you're using Instagram or when you're using your Gmail as well. After 2 or 3 seconds, you will just see a notification right over here that you have got one pending message. It will increase to 2. If somebody messages me right now, it will increase to 2 itself, and so on and so forth. Now it's automatically updating. Why is that the case? Why is that the case? This is also something that happens due to React components itself, due to React. Okay, at the end of the day, it happens due to React itself. So what happens right over here is, guys, that each of these components, okay, so for example, this particular box, okay, this is a component on its own. The box that I've created is a component on its own. It is just like a website. It has its very own HTML, it has its very own CSS, it has its very own JavaScript that is there right over here. But what happens, so the process, okay, I will be explaining you guys the process. I'm just giving you a brief introduction. Okay, I will be talking about DOMs and virtual DOMs and everything. Okay, but right now just understand the essence of the thing. So this component has its very own HTML, CSS, and JavaScript right over here. And what happens is it also is individual because it acts like an individual item. It acts like an individual website itself. It is also able to individually connect and talk to the backend, to the servers. Okay, so this is the servers. Okay, these are the servers that are there on the backend. It contains that whether you have got any messages or not, how many pictures are there, what is the ID, password, all these kind of stuff that is there. So this backend contains all that information. So early on, because your entire website was built in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you have to refresh the entire website so that it is able to talk. Okay, every time that you refresh the entire website, it used to talk to the server that, okay, is something new happening, okay, new is happening, give me the information, and you had to reload the entire website to get that information in front of you. But right now, because each of these components has its very own HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, they are individually, each of these components, guys, everything that you are able to see on your screen, these are individual components. This is a component on its own. Each component has multiple items, multiple individual components under it as well, and so on and so forth. Each of these components are able to talk individually with the backend. They're able to talk individually with the backend itself, and hence they are able to update themselves automatically. They are able to update themselves automatically, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Now, how does React figure that, okay, this particular component, that this component needs to talk to the backend? How does he figure that out? How to update this particular component to show that, okay, 2 messages are there instead of 1? So that is where the concept of virtual DOM and real DOM comes into place. That I will be explaining it to you guys in 2 minutes. But have you guys understood this? That one of other advantages of React is that instead of reloading the entire page, it is automatically showing you guys new information, new notification. It is updating individual components on its own. Okay, it is updating individual components on its own, guys. So let's try to now understand what is this particular concept of virtual DOM and real DOM. Okay, What is the difference between React and JavaScript? JavaScript is a language, React is a library that you use. Basically, JavaScript is like cement, and React is like the entire process of setting that entire wooden planks, getting all those iron rods inside, and then pouring cement inside of it to create whatever you want to do. That is the difference between React and JavaScript. Okay. I thought that that was evident from whatever I'm speaking right now, but no issues in that. Okay. So let's try to understand this as well, guys. So what happens when you are working on a particular website? Let's assume that there's a hierarchy. If you guys remember the code from yesterday, okay, the code from yesterday, guys, if you guys remember that, it was HTML on the top, and on the bottom you were having the end of HTML, then you were having your head tag right over here, HEAD, okay, the closing something, and then the closing head tag right over here. Then you are having your body tag, so you are having your body body tag right away here, the closing body tag right over here, body. Then you are having your h1 tag right over here, closing h1 tag. Then you are having some content written inside of it. Then you're having a paragraph tag right over here, some content written inside of it, then closing paragraph tag. So you guys remember this code that we have written yesterday? Am I right or wrong, guys? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Awesome. So you are able to see some hierarchy in this entire thing. Are you guys able to see some hierarchy in this? That HTML is there on the outside. Inside you are having your head tag and your body tag right over here. Inside the head tag you are having the title tag. Inside the body tag you are having the h1 and the p tag. There's some kind of hierarchy. Okay, there's some kind of hierarchy that is there. Okay, now this entire hierarchy, if you are trying to put it out as a, whenever there is a hierarchy, you can, so for example, your family, there's a hierarchy. You are having your grandfather and your grandmother, then you're having like 3 or 4 kids that are there under them, your parent, your uncle, your maybe auntie, and so on and so forth. And under your parents you are having you and your sibling. So it's a hierarchy, a family tree that you are able to build. So we can build a family tree right over here as well. On the top you are having HTML, that is your HTML right over here. Under that you are having your head and the body tags. Okay, you are having your HEAD head and the body tag right over here, BODY body. Then inside of your head tag you are having your TITLE title tag. Okay, and then inside of the title tag you are having some content, whereas inside the body you are having 2 more tags, that is the h1 tag and the paragraph tag right over here. Inside of the h1 tag you are having some content, and then inside of the paragraph tag you are having some content right over here as well. So are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. This hierarchy, are you able to connect it with the like code that is written on the left hand side itself? So I will just remove this code because now you are able to connect both the dots, so we don't require the code itself. It's taking a lot of space. Now the document that is there, okay, the HTML file, okay, the file that that index.html file where you are writing all this code, okay, where you are writing all this code itself, the index.html file that we created yesterday. Everything that I'm talking to you right now is connected to whatever we have studied in the last 4 days itself, guys. So if you are not present in any of those classes, you won't be able to understand what I'm teaching today. Okay, it will just go right above your head. So if I miss any of the classes, guys, because I'm able to see some of the questions that are getting there, and I'm like, dude, I've already taught that in the last 4 days. At that point of time, if you're there in the class, we'll be able to understand it. Okay, so that particular index.html file that was there, index.html, that file is usually referred to as a document. Okay, that file is usually referred to as a document itself. So on top of the HTML code, so this is the HTML tag, okay, this is the tag tag. So this tag is contained inside of this document. You guys able to understand this? This tag, HTML tag, is contained inside of the document itself. Am I right or wrong, guys? Please do let me know. Am I right or wrong, guys? Please do let me know. If we refer to the index.html tag as a index.html file as a document itself, then this HTML tag is present inside of this document. Am I right or wrong, guys? Please do let me know. So this entire tree that I've drawn on the right hand side, the technical term for this tree is called as document object model. Okay, this technical term for this particular tree is called as document object model. So usually when you are writing your code inside of HTML, the computer is able to understand, okay, the computer is able to understand that as this document object model, DOM tree itself. It is able to assume, it is able to structure it as a DOM tree. Okay, it is able to document object model. It is able to structure it as a DOM tree itself. Okay, whatever code that you write in HTML, this is how your computer perceives it. Okay, this is how your computer perceives it. Now, what happened originally was this entire document tree itself was able to communicate. Okay, early on when you were writing just in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, your entire tree used to communicate with your backend. So if you want to see some changes at any particular point of time, if you want to see any changes at any particular point of time, you have to refresh the entire DOM. You have to reload the entire page itself, refresh the entire DOM so that it is able to connect with the backend, send a new DOM tree. Okay, that is a new replacement for the entire DOM tree with all the changes, and that's it. Okay, and that's it. And that is how you were able to get the new website itself. You have to refresh the entire website. And every time that they are sending the HTML files back to you, they are sending a new DOM tree back to you itself. That's a waste of time. Okay, that's a waste of time. Now, Nawab Mastan. Okay, Nawab Mastan has a particular question. I think so. It's a particular question that usually when you will see HTML code, there will be a line that will be written that is Doctype HTML. Okay, this line will sometimes be there when you are looking at an HTML code. Okay, for those who have never seen this, just assume that the first line of code in HTML that you are able to see will be this Doctype HTML line of code. In the HTML file, as soon as you open index.html, this will be the first line of code that you see. So what's the meaning and why I haven't used this particular line of code? Okay, when I was teaching you HTML, I never used this Doctype HTML. Why is that the case? Because this basically says to the browser, okay, this particular line of code says to the browser itself that the current code that I'm writing is HTML5, version 5 of HTML. This line of code, Doctype HTML, basically refers that the current code that I'm writing in this particular file, okay, in this file that I'm currently using is of type 5. It's the 5th version of HTML itself, guys. 5th version of HTML. Now, this was originally written in every single piece of HTML code because the browsers, for the browsers, the default type of HTML, the default version of HTML that the browsers were able to read was the version 4 of HTML itself. So this Doctype HTML was written to tell the browser that this is not HTML version 4, this is HTML version 5. So read it according to the same itself. But right now, according to the latest norms and the latest versions of the browser that have come up, the default HTML is now HTML5. The default HTML is now HTML5. So you don't have to write this Doctype HTML anymore. You don't have to write this Doctype HTML anymore, and that is the reason why I haven't used this Doctype HTML. For those who are having this particular question that what is this Doctype HTML, I've seen it somewhere, that is the answer for that. Okay, that is the answer for that. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. That is the reason we will not be using Doctype HTML anymore, because it's of no use to us. Okay. Lakshya, we like कहना क्या चाहते हो? Everything that you are not able to understand, Lakshya. No issues in that. I can understand. There are some people who just don't understand stuff. No issues. Just keep on listening. Okay, no issues in that as well. Let me remove this. This DOM tree, that is document object model. Okay, document object model that we have created right over here, that is your DOM tree. And every time that you wanted your website to be updated with something new, you have to refresh that entire website. You have to refresh that entire website to get a new DOM tree, a new piece of HTML code that was shown to you with the updated notifications and everything. Now, this was a huge problem, okay, because a lot of data was wasted, or a lot of time of the user was wasted, because you had to input all the DOM tree, all the code from the browser, from the servers itself, update the entire DOM tree once again, then render it to your screen. So a lot of time was wasted right over there. That is where React came into picture. Okay, that is where React came. It's DOM. It's not bomb. Bomb is Bombay. Can you explain DOM again? Komal, could you make me understand? So this is a question for Komal, so I'm able to understand what is the problem right over there. Komal, can you tell me what you are not able to understand in DOM? Komal, could you tell me? I will take 2 minutes. Okay, it's very important. Those guys who are not able to understand DOM tree, all of you guys, can you tell me exactly what you are not able to understand it? And don't tell me you are not able to understand what is DOM itself. Okay, that's a fucking like bitch ass question itself, because that I've already explained it to you guys that this is the HTML code. It's just the like tree version of it. What you are not able to understand in DOM? Can you guys let me know? For those guys who are not able to understand DOM, I want to understand what you are not able to understand in this. Aditya, you are asking me after I've told the entire Ramayana who is Ram. Okay, so please don't ask this question. If you're not listening to me, I cannot answer your question again and again. I've just explained it to you guys. Okay, so I asked the question to her and she's just left the chat itself, I guess. Okay, no issues. I will just explain DOM once again. Okay, I will just explain DOM once again itself. This is the last time that I'm explaining it. I won't be explaining it anymore. You are having your HTML code that we have written yesterday. Okay, you are having your HTML code that we have written yesterday. You're having your HTML, then you're having your head, then you're having your body, then you're having your ending of the HTML itself. Inside of body, you are having your h1 tag, you are having your paragraph tag right over here. So there's some hierarchy that is present. There's some hierarchy that is present. So this hierarchy for the understanding of the computer itself is what is the DOM tree. Is what is the DOM tree itself. It's just the hierarchy laid out of the code. It's the representation of the code as a tree. That's it. Nothing too difficult for you guys to understand right over there. Okay, so now assume that. So what is the website? Every time that you are reloading the page, okay, this is your web, this is your monitor, this is your computer itself, this is your backend, okay, this is your server, okay, this is your backend itself. Every time that you are reloading a website, itself, what is happening is your computer is sending a request for the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files to the server, and the new set of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files are being sent to your computer, and that is being shown to you once again. Okay, that is what is shown to your screen once again, guys. So this DOM tree, whenever you are refreshing the website, this DOM tree is nothing else but just the HTML file. It's the HTML file, guys. Do not get confused. When I'm talking about DOM tree, is just the HTML file ka dusra representation. Just another representation of HTML file. So that new set of HTML and CSS and JavaScript file is sent to your computer, and then your browser has to render that HTML, that DOM tree, as in a particular format that you are able to see it as a website. So your entire website gets reloaded. Your entire website gets reloaded. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Great. So what do you want to do right now is that this process was wasting a lot of time. Okay, you are sending a request for the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files to the server, you're getting it to your computer, it is taking some time, then it is reloading and refreshing it for the entire, it is rendering the entire DOM tree for you guys on your screen. That is again taking some time. So that is a lot of time being wasted. So React came up with a new particular thing, a new thing itself, that is called as React DOM. Okay, this is called as React DOM itself. Okay, so let us put it up as React DOM. This is your normal DOM. This is called as real DOM. Okay, this is called as real DOM itself. Okay, that is the exact rendering of your current website. So React DOM came with something that is called the virtual DOM. Okay, virtual DOM. Okay, this virtual DOM is nothing else but again a DOM. Okay, a document object model that is created in a virtual environment. Okay, just in a code itself. It does not exist in the real world. It does not exist as a website itself. It's just a coded version of the DOM itself. It's just a coded version. Okay, that is a coding. Okay, that's a coding of a DOM itself. Now you don't have to do this. React does it for you. You don't have to do this. React does it for you itself. Okay, this is not something that you have to code the entire DOM. React does it for you guys. Okay, so right over here, this React virtual DOM is the exact same. It's again HTML. Again, you are having your head and the body tag under it. So you are having head, you're having body right over here, you're having title under it, you are having the h1 and the paragraph tag right over here. Okay, it's the exact same thing. Nothing too complicated to understand. Just that the real DOM is basically a representation for the computer for the exact website that you're watching up, and the virtual DOM is the exact copy of that real DOM but in a coded environment as a code itself. Okay, that is the only difference between this virtual DOM and the real DOM itself. Now what happens is, let's assume, so this virtual DOM is a code. Okay, this is a code itself, which is basically made up of individual components. So these are components. Okay, guys, all of these h1, paragraph tag, head, body, everything is thought of as a component right over here. When you're thinking it of a component, so each one of these coded stuff is able to communicate with the backend directly. You don't have to refresh the entire website. This entire virtual DOM, every single component in this virtual DOM is able to directly communicate with the servers. It is able to directly communicate with the servers itself. So what happens right now is, as soon as some notification hits, okay, as soon as, let's assume that you are having some notification right over here that, okay, so paragraph tag needs to be updated. There's some new text that needs to come into the paragraph tag right over there. Okay, there needs to take the new paragraph tag that is there right over here. So what you need to do, what virtual DOM does it for you, if it is able to see any difference, once it is able to talk to the server, this paragraph tag is like, you do server, is there any new updates? Okay, there's a new update for me. Okay, I'll just update myself. So I just converted myself, okay, from like paragraph tag to a paragraph tag written Naruto inside of it. Okay, paragraph tag with Naruto written inside of it. Now what will happen is, this paragraph tag was initially having the name of Shorisana. So right over here, for this particular paragraph tag on the real DOM, okay, let's assume that the paragraph tag on the real DOM had Shaurya written inside of it. Shaurya. That is on your screen, on your website. It was Shaurya right over there. This paragraph tag in the virtual DOM, this exact same paragraph tag in the virtual DOM, talked to the backend, updated itself with Naruto. Now paragraph does not have Shaurya written on its screen and Naruto inside of it. This is a virtual DOM. It is not getting rendered on your screen. This is just in code itself. Now what will React DOM do? React DOM is another library of React. Okay, it's a sub library of React, React DOM. Okay, again, it's a library, just like React is just a library. This React DOM will then compare the virtual DOM to the real DOM. Will compare this virtual DOM with the real DOM. Okay, it will check, okay, so this paragraph tag is changed. It had first Shaurya written inside of it, but according to the virtual DOM, it is Naruto written inside of it. So it will just update the real DOM, update the paragraph tag inside, just the paragraph tag inside of the real DOM with, it will just remove Shaurya from right over here and put Naruto. So instead of reloading the entire real DOM itself, it just updates the paragraph tag. It just compares both the virtual DOM and the real DOM and then updates the real DOM if there are any changes in the virtual DOM itself. Now this is a bit complicated, okay? This is a bit complicated, but are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. I know it's a bit complicated, guys. It's a bit complicated, but just think about it. Instead of reloading the entire website, instead of refreshing the entire website, you are able to save so much time communicating with the servers. You're able to save so much time reloading the entire website. Okay, time is also saved. And along with the same, you are able to get notifications without even reloading the website itself. Okay, without doing anything, you're getting the notification as well. So that is the benefit of using React DOM. I know this is a bit confusing. I know this is a bit hard, but to learn a new technology, nobody gives a shit. Anybody can do it in like 3 days. You give me 3 days, I will learn a new technology, and I'll be better than most people that are using that as well. But to be able to understand that why we are using this technology, what is the benefit? So people will be asking you these in the interviews, that why are you using React? This exact same thing I could have done in HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Why are you using React? You need to tell them the answer right over there. You need to give the answers, and that is the answers that are going to help you to showcase that you don't just know how to type that technology out, how to build projects, but you actually understand the essence of the technology as well. I spoke a lot, I guess. Yes, SPO. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but yes, that's the basic understanding of the same as well. Okay. So are you guys able to understand everything up till here? Please do let me know, guys. Good. Great, guys. So now that you have understood the basic essence of components, there's the last essence of component that is left. That is your, if you don't mind, guys, I might be extending the number of days of the bootcamp by 1 or 2 days. Will it be fine with you guys? Because there's a lot that I have to still teach you guys, and I don't want you guys to like relapse on something or at any particular point of time. I want you guys to give enough time to React.js from a practice standpoint as well. So can I expect the like, can I increase the number of days by 1 or 2? Instead of having it for 7 days, can we do it for 8 or 9 days? If you guys have no issues with that, because I have a lot of time on my hands and I really want you guys to understand the core essence of it. So the next bootcamp is going to start from the 4th, right? Today is which day? We're having the 5th day, I guess, today. 6th will happen on 2nd, then 3rd you will be having. Okay, so we can't even extend the number of days like that. Let me think. Hmm. So if we have the class from 6 to 7:15, will it be fine with you guys? From like 4th of December. Can we have the class from 6 to 7:15? If there's any issues with that, 6 to 7:15 from the 4th of December, guys. From the 4th of December. Let's see, because there's a lot that we have to cover. No issues in that. We still have 30 minutes right now. So shall we start with the coding, guys? Shall we start with the coding right now? Please do let me know. Shall we start with the coding, guys? Please do let me know. Okay, let's get started with the coding aspect right now. Let's open up Code Sandbox. Again, for React as well, we will be utilizing Code Sandbox. Okay, we'll be utilizing Code Sandbox once again. So once you have opened up Code Sandbox, just click on this create button and then select React from it. Okay, click on this create button and then select React from right over there. So I will create a sandbox for you guys where you can write your React.js code as well, as simple as that. Okay, so right over here, as you're able to see, there's a dependencies that has been installed for you guys: React, React DOM, and React scripts. Okay, we are not going to utilize React scripts for this particular portion, but we'll be utilizing React and React DOM. Okay, what is a dependency, guys? So whatever code that you're currently writing, whatever JavaScript code that you're currently writing, it is dependent, okay, upon this React and React DOM libraries. Okay, so what is the library? All these properties, all this creating virtual DOMs, all these other concepts that are there, which basically forms the essence of React. Somebody has coded that for you already. You don't have to code how to create a virtual DOM, how to compare it, how to see all these kind of stuff. Somebody has already created that for you guys. Okay, somebody has already created that for you guys, created a particular package, created a gift for you guys called as React and React DOM. These are libraries that have been created, and the code that you're currently writing will just be dependent upon this React and React DOM. It will be dependent upon this React and React DOM library. So React and React DOM are libraries that are there, which basically means somebody has created all that code that is utilized, that basically forms the essence of what we talked about right now. Okay, all these virtual DOMs, comparing stuff up, how to compile like all these components together, how to form components, all that has already been done. Okay, all that has already been done right over there itself. Now what you want to do is you are going to utilize these dependencies. Okay, you're going to utilize these dependencies to write down your code. Okay, to write down your code. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. So React DOM is the library that is there that contains the code on how to create the virtual DOM. Okay, React DOM is like the name of the city. Okay, Bangalore. And then inside of that, you are having a particular location that is Koramangala. Okay, that is what basically means. Okay, so React DOM is the library that contains the code where you are able to create virtual DOM itself. Okay, where you are able to create the virtual DOM itself. So what we are going to do right now is we are going to not utilize most of the stuff. The index.html is there in the public folder. We are going to shift our styles.css from, so just click on the styles.css. Okay, just click on the styles.css, drag and drop it to the public folder. It is currently present in the src folder. Okay, that is the short form for source. Okay, src is the short form for source. Just drag and drop it inside of the public folder right over here. Then next, what you want to do is you want to delete the app.js. Okay, app.js file, the JavaScript file. On the right hand side, you will be able to see a cross. Click on that cross, delete that particular file itself. Come to the index.js file, delete everything from the index.js file as well. Just select everything and delete it. So you are having an empty index.js file right over here. You're having an empty index.js file right over here, guys. This is where we'll be starting to write our code. Okay, because we want everything to be empty so that we are able to learn everything from the basics itself. Instead of having somebody to write the code for us, we are going to write all the code ourselves, understand it line by line. Okay, because if somebody else has written the code, then what are you going to do? You are going to just see it. So that is not the case. Okay, we are here to learn. So that's the reason why we start with an empty slate so that we are able to learn as much as possible. In the browser, we will put it up on a new tab itself. So right over here on the top right corner, you are having open in new window. Okay, you are having open in new window. Just click on this. It will open the React app on a new window. It's completely empty as we are able to see. We don't require the browser. We don't require the file system as well. Just open up the HTML file as well right over here. We'll understand it at a later point of time. We'll just collapse everything just so that we are able to see our code, whatever we are writing right over here itself. As simple as that. Like I said, please do not code along with me, guys. Please do not code along with me. If you are coding along with me, you are not listening to me, you're missing out on stuff. Do not do that. If just after the class, as an assignment, whatever I've taught in the class, try to do it once again on your own. That is much more better. You will be able to recollect everything very clearly. Okay, but if you're coding along with me, you will just be missing out on what I'm teaching. Okay, you won't be able to understand anything. Okay, so please try to make sure that you are not coding along with me. I'm talking about Ayush Puri. Okay, I'm talking about especially you. Okay, so we can continue from right over there, guys. I've opened up the index.js file right over here. Let me just open up the live chat on my mobile phone as well. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second so I'm able to open up the live chat on my mobile phone. I've talked a lot today. Okay, now give me a second, guys. I'm just opening up the live chat on my mobile phone. It will take me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes, guys. Okay, no issues. Everything that we have learned up till now, we are going to do it. Now we are going to start with the utmost basics. Okay, we are not going to start with anything too difficult. We want to make sure that you guys are able to understand everything that we are currently doing. So we're going to start from the utmost basics. Right now, our major concern is to put up hello world as an h1 tag. We want to put up an h1 tag that is a big bold heading that says hello world on our screen. Again, just like programmers, what we want to see is hello world on our screens itself. That is our live scene. Okay, so that is where we are going to start, but we want to do that not using html. We don't want to do it using html. We want to use it to do that using React itself. Now, your code that you're writing right over here inside of this index.js file, whatever code that you're writing right over here, that is dependent. If you guys remember, that is dependent on two libraries. That is your React library and your React library and your React DOM library. These are the two libraries that your code is right now dependent upon. So first we need to tell JavaScript, okay, that okay, you are dependent upon this, so first import it. Okay, you need to utilize it, you need to import these two things right now so that you are able to use it. Okay, you want to require it, you want to import it. So your code, this JavaScript file is dependent upon React and React DOM, so we need to import it. So you have downloaded it. Okay, it's already downloaded for you guys in the dependencies, but your code needs to be told that okay, you're dependent and you need to import both of these libraries so that you are able to move further with that. So first we are going to do that. So we are going to write a statement: import React from the name of the dependency, that is React. Okay, the name of the dependency is React in small letters, that is the name of the dependency, and you want to import React from it, React, React. Okay, and to import React from right over there. Okay, that is import React from React. Okay, React is the name of the dependency, this is the small letters is the name of the dependency, and we are going to call it as capital React, React. Okay, React, React right over here. Same way we have to do it for your React DOM as well. So what is the use of the React library? What is the use of the React DOM library? I will be telling you guys after a few minutes. First, let us write our first line of code in React itself. React DOM, we already know to create virtual DOM, to handle all that. But what about React? Okay, what is the use of the React library? So we'll be talking about that as well in a few minutes. First, we need to import React DOM. So React DOM from React DOM itself. So these are the two dependencies that we need to import so that our code uses them properly. Now we are going to utilize the React DOM method. Okay, we are going to utilize the React DOM method to render a particular element out on the screen. Okay, so again, React DOM has that virtual DOM itself. We want to render a particular item inside of this virtual DOM. What do you mean by render in normal English? Can you guys let me know? What do you guys mean by render in normal English? Can you guys let me know? Can you guys let me know what do you mean by render in normal English? Please do let me know, guys. To load, to show, to display, to process. Okay, so we want to display this something on our virtual DOM. We want to update it into our virtual DOM so that it replaces the real DOM and you're able to get it on the screen itself. Okay, we are loading something up on the virtual DOM. Okay, we are trying to render something on the virtual DOM so that it replaces the real DOM and you are able to see something on your screen. So what we are going to do right now is we are going to use React DOM method dot render. Okay, so React DOM.render is the method that we are going to use. It takes in two parameters. Okay, just like a function, it takes in two parameters: what to render, okay, and where to render. These are the two things that it takes into account. What do you want to render? Where do you want to be rendered? Okay, so what do we want it to render, guys? Can you guys let me know? What do we want it to render? Can you guys let me know? Please do let me know, guys. What do we want it to render? Can you guys let me know? We wanted to display hello world. We want to display hello world in big and bold letters. Okay, we want an h1 tag that basically renders hello world on the screen. So what do we want to render? We already know that an h1 tag, we want to render it right over here. Okay, so we want to render an h1 tag. Okay, so we'll render an h1 tag right over here. We'll end the h1 tag as well, and we want to render hello world in between them. Okay, this is what we want to render out on our screen. Now, where do we want it to be rendered? Okay, now the next particular question is, where do we want it to get rendered? That is the question that we need to answer right now, guys. A very simple question according to me. Okay, so let's go open up the index.html file. Okay, let's open up the index.html file. Inside of this file, you will be able to see a particular div tag. Okay, you will be able to see this div tag right over here. Now, div tags are nothing else. Just think about it as a container. Okay, so let's first understand what is a div tag. So, for example, you are having, let's assume that you are having some roti. Okay, some roti. So this is your roti right over here. Some sabji that you are having right over here. This is your sabji. Okay, it's like a chicken kadai masala or something like that. You want to take it to your school. Okay, you want to take this to your school itself. So just carrying it in your hand isn't good, right? You won't be carrying everything into your hand and then taking it up to school. So what you want is, you want a box. Okay, you want a box. You want a tiffin box that is there, that basically contains all that for you guys. That's the only only use, okay, only use of this particular container, that is the tiffin box. In the similar way itself, when you are having your different elements, okay, the h1 element is there, a paragraph element is there, sometimes you want to containerize it. Okay, you want to containerize it into a single element. That is where the div tag comes into picture. The div tag has no properties. Okay, the div tag has no properties. For example, the h1 tag, that is there, that makes your text big and bold. The paragraph tag is there, that makes your text look like a paragraph. The old tag is there, that makes your text look like a list itself. Okay, so all that is there. Okay, all that is there, that basically puts some type of usage. Okay, it puts some type of conditions to your text. But this div tag has nothing like that. It's just like a container. It's just like a tiffin box. It just tries to take like different stuff inside of it. Okay, it tries to just take multiple tags inside of it. That's it. That's all its use itself. Okay, all its use. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. So right over here, I've created an empty div tag. Right over here, and I've given it an ID of root. Okay, I've given it an ID of root. For example, when you were there in college, you had an ID associated with yourself that uniquely identified you, your roll number that uniquely identified you in the entire college. Nobody else in the entire college, in the entire history of that college as well, will ever have, the same ID. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Okay, anybody in the entire college will never have the same ID. Every student will be having a different ID itself. Are you guys able to understand this concept? Similarly, on this entire HTML index.html page, index.html page, no other element, whether it is an h1 element, whether it's a paragraph element, whether it's a body element, any tag that is present will never have the same ID as root. Only this div tag will always have an ID of root itself. It's like its own roll number. Itself. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. So we want to render, where we want our h1 tag to be rendered, we want it to be rendered inside of this container, that is this div container, which is an ID of root. Okay, we want to render our h1 tag inside of this div tag, okay, inside of this div container that is an ID of root itself. So what we are going to do is, where do we want it to be rendered? Okay, that is where we are going to write this particular code. Where we want it to be rendered, that is where we are going to write this particular code itself, guys. So this code will be, so first of all, where is this particular div id root present? Okay, where is this particular div id root present? This div tag with an id of root, where is it present, guys? Can you guys let me know? Where is this particular line of code present? Where is this particular line of code present, guys? Inside of index.html? Inside of index.html? In React, what do we refer this index.html file as? In React, what does this index.html file refer to as, guys? Can you guys let me know? It is referred to as document, if you remember it correctly. I've told you guys that. Okay, this index.html file is referred to as document. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. We refer this index.html file as document itself, guys. So what we are going to do is, we are going to use document dot, we want to get this element. Where do we want it to be rendered? We want it to be rendered it inside of the document, inside of a div tag that has the id of root. Okay, that is what where we want it to be rendered, inside of the document, inside of the div tag that has the id of root. Now root, that is the id, whether it is an h1 tag, a paragraph tag, a body tag, any kind of tag that is there, the id of root is going to be unique for that particular div tag itself. No other tags of any kind, whether it is another div tag, can have an id of root. That id is unique. So to get that element div, we have to use its id. So get element by id, we want to get that element by its id itself. So we are going to use document dot get element by id. Okay, we are going to use document dot get element by its id. And what is the element? Okay, what is the id, guys? Root. Okay, what is the id, guys? Root. So we are going to get that element by id of root itself. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. So what do we want to render? H1 tag. Where do we want it to be rendered, guys? Inside of document, inside of the element that has an id of root. Okay, that has an id of root itself. If you guys just read it out as a normal English sentence, you will be able to understand it. And that is our first line of React code that we have written. The first line of React code. Let's go back to our website, and as you are able to see on your screen, we have loaded, okay, we have rendered our very first element, that is the h1 element on our screen, that is hello world. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So now what we want to understand is, this is a JavaScript file, right? This is an index.js file. This is an index.js file. Am I right or wrong, guys? Please let me know. This is a JavaScript file. Am I right or wrong, guys? Is this a JavaScript file? Yes, it is a JavaScript file. Then where in the hell are we writing this HTML code inside of this JavaScript file? Okay, how are we writing JavaScript codes inside of, like, JavaScript code? We are able to write HTML inside of it. Okay, how is this possible? This is JavaScript file. We should not be able to write HTML inside of this. Okay, but that is where you are wrong. We are actually not writing. So what we were learning in JavaScript is called as plain vanilla JavaScript. Okay, that's called as plain or just vanilla JavaScript itself. That is pure JavaScript. What you are writing right over here, where you are having JavaScript as well as you are having HTML inside of it, is called as JSX or JavaScript XML. Okay, it is called as JSX. Okay, or JavaScript XML. Okay, JSX. Okay, or JavaScript XML itself. what we were learning when we were learning JavaScript, that was called as vanilla JavaScript. What JavaScript that we learned in the past 3 days, that is called as vanilla JavaScript, guys. That is just plain old JavaScript. You cannot write HTML inside of it. This is what is referred to as JSX or JavaScript XML. Okay, this is referred to as JavaScript XML. Now you could do the exact same thing, whatever you have done right over here, React DOM.render, you are having the h1 tag and then document.getElementById root. You can do this using vanilla JavaScript as well. Okay, right now I'll be showing to you guys how to do the exact same thing. Okay, we are not going to change anything. We are going to do the exact same thing using vanilla JavaScript itself, guys, so that we are also able to understand how to do that. Okay. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Now we will be looking at how to do the exact same thing using not just like your plain old, like not just by using your JSX, but also while using your vanilla JavaScript as well, to understand basically one thing, that why are we not using, okay, why are we not using vanilla JavaScript, why are we using JSX? Because that is also something that we need to understand. Am I right or wrong, guys? Please do let me know. Am I right or wrong, guys, that this is also important for us to understand? Please do let me know. Okay, so let's start with this. Okay, we are going to remove this entire line, and instead of that we will be rendering one. So not removing it, but we will be rendering the exact same thing, hello world 2. We will be rendering hello world 2 using plain vanilla JavaScript. First we'll be creating a variable var. We'll call it as h1 is equals to document. Okay, so we are using the doc, okay, DOM itself. We are going to create an element inside of DOM. Okay, element called as the h1 tag. We want to create an element that is the h1 tag inside of the DOM itself. Okay, so that is one node. Okay, that h1 bubble that was there inside of the DOM itself, that we want to create a document dot create element. Okay, create element method. We want to create an element that is the h1. Okay, we are just creating a element, okay, that goes inside of the DOM tree itself. That is the h1 tag. Okay, next what we are going to put is inside of that h1 tag, okay, inside of that node, inside of that h1 tag, what is the content that should be there? Okay, what is the content that should be there inside of that h1 tag? That is hello world 2. That is the content that needs to go inside of the h1 tag. For that you have to use another method that is called as h1 dot, that is the variable h1 dot inner html. Okay, we are going to use h1 dot inner html. That what is this h1 going to contain? What is this h1 going to contain inside of it? That is going to be hello world. Okay, that is going to be hello world 2. Okay, if you're not able to understand this, there's no issues. If you're not able to understand this code, there's no issues. This is basically to show you guys that we are doing the exact same thing that we did in JSX using vanilla JavaScript. Okay, and then you're having document dot get element by id, that is root. You are getting where you want it to be rendered. Okay, you want it to be rendered inside of document dot get element by id, that is root dot, you have to append. So you are getting the root. Okay, this is the root div tag called as root itself. Under that particular node, you want to append. Okay, you want to attach the h1 tag, the h1 node itself as a child. Okay, under that you want to attach, so the h1 tag will be the child of the, so it's a hierarchy. Okay, instead of a hierarchy, this is the parent. The root div tag called as root is the parent, and the h1 tag will be its child itself. So dot append child, that is the code that we are going to use as h1. We want to append the h1 like tag, that h1 node that we have created right over here. If I are saving this, going back to our website, you are able to see that we are able to reload. We are able to get hello world 2 on our screens as well. We are able to get hello world two on our screens as well. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. See, this is the last particular topic, guys. If you are able to understand this, I will be stopping after this itself. The rest of the guys, they are pathetic, who didn't even attend the entire class and are asking for attendance. I'm making sure of it that your names are being taken care of. If you're not talking in the entire live chat and at the last people are seeing that you are just asking for attendance, I have two guys in the live chat that are doing nothing. Okay, the entire day they are doing nothing. They're just sitting here listing out your names, and these guys won't be getting the certificates as well. That is why I have not taken up the attendance for today, because I've just made two guys sit and just look at the live chat. So you don't even have to take tension. If you're not there, if you're not interacting with me throughout the entire class, and in the last you're saying attendance, 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 you're not going to get the certificate. Don't come and tell me that even I had the attendance, I did everything, still I'm not able to get the certificates, because you know that you didn't do anything. Okay, the rest of the people who are attending the classes, who are interacting with me, who are learning, you guys don't have to worry. You guys can be chill. Okay. Okay, great. So right over here, this both the lines of code. So this is what is written in React JSX. This is written in JSX right over here. It is written in JSX right over here. And this entire thing is written in just plain old JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript. Okay, plain old JavaScript is vanilla JavaScript. Both of them are giving you the same exact answers, but JSX is doing it in just one line of code, very simple to understand, very easy to write as well. And your vanilla JavaScript is doing it in 3 lines of code, and it's super complicated. Okay, it's super complicated right over here. That is the reason why we use JSX instead of your JavaScript. Now JSX is a little bit different from JavaScript. It's not the exact same thing. That is the reason why we require this library that is called as React. Okay, that is the reason why we require this library called as React right over here. React contains a compiler inside of it that is called as Babel. Okay, React contains a compiler inside of it that is called as Babel. Babel compiles this JSX. Okay, Babel compiles this JSX down to these 3 lines of code. So in the backend, instead of you writing these 3 lines of code, Babel is a compiler that reads your JSX and converts it into vanilla JavaScript. Okay, it reads your JSX and converts it. Okay, converts it into vanilla JavaScript, guys. It converts it into vanilla JavaScript. Babel does not, there's no full form of Babel. It's like Shaurya. My name is Shaurya. There's no full form of Shaurya. Babel is the name of the compiler. Okay, so it will read your JSX. Okay, it will read your JSX and convert it into like your simple vanilla JavaScript, and that is what is being run by your browser. And that is what is being run by your browser. We don't have to focus upon vanilla JavaScript. Our focus is just upon this JSX that is super easy to understand. That is super easy to understand. B-A-B-B-L-E or B-A-B-L-E. I don't remember the exact spelling of it. B-A-B-B. Okay, let's say Google search it on Google. Yeah. React B-A-B. Okay, it's B-A-B-E-L. Okay, B-A-B-E-L. That is the full spelling of Babel. B-A-B-E-L, guys. Okay, so are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Okay, so we'll stop right over here. Tomorrow our focus will be on how to create components inside of React. We have just done the hello world in React today. We have understood what is React, how to use it, why to use it, and just a basic implementation of hello world program in React. Tomorrow onwards, we are going to start with the, you guys remember, components, how to create components inside of React. Okay, it will be super easy, super dope as well. We'll be having an awesome time out there. Okay, if you guys have any issues, any queries, any problems, you can always reach out to me on LinkedIn or somewhere else as well. I'll always be ready to help you guys out. For today, your assignment is whatever you have learned today, up till before coming to the next class, try to implement it. Okay, try to implement it, okay? Because you need to revise this before we are able to start with React components. If you're not revising this, okay, if you're not revising this, then you will not be able to understand React components at all, and I don't want that to happen. Please, I'm requesting from you guys, please try to implement this, okay? Please try to implement this, guys. Will that be fine with you guys? Please let me know. And for tomorrow's class, in the first 15 to 20 minutes itself, I'll be taking the attendance in the middle of the class itself. So for those guys who are filling it right now, if you want to get the certificates, if you're not there on time for tomorrow's class, tomorrow there will be 3 attendances in the class itself. You are missing out on any one of those attendance, you're not going to get the certificates. I will show you the QR code. I will give you 10 minutes time. If you're not present in the class in that particular time span, if you're not updating your attendance right over there, you're not going to get the certificates. So for those guys who are coming right now to the class itself, okay, although we have already written down the names of the people who are not interacting with us, and the last there was just attendance, only those kind of people we have written the name down. These guys, you're not going to get the certificates anyhow, so you can just leave the class itself. From the next bootcamp, try to come up on class and try to learn something. For the rest of the people itself who are coming up late, okay, I'm telling you guys, for tomorrow's class there will be 3 attendances that will be there. I've already made those attendances as well, and you will have to fill all the 3 attendances in the middle of the class itself to get the certificates. If one of those attendances is missing, you're not going to get any certificates. That is my promise. Okay, that is my promise to you. Okay, so let me show you guys the attendance link for today, guys. Give me a second. So were you guys able to understand everything that we covered in today's class? Were you guys able to understand everything that we covered in today's class? I know web development is a bit hard. Okay, it's a bit hard as well. But I want you guys to understand that, see, if you are paying attention in the class, if you're trying to listen everything that I'm saying, it shouldn't be that hard. It should be as easy as possible for you guys. Please try to make sure that you guys are able to understand everything. Okay, I'm trying to answer as many questions as possible for you guys. I'm trying to make sure that all the examples and everything that I'm giving to you guys are something that you can relate to, that you can understand very easily. So for today's class, my just a request from my end that in today's class there will be something called as a feedback. Okay, that is a feedback. I'm making it compulsory for everyone to fill. Please provide me with a feedback on the class. If it's negative, no issues. I will take that positively itself. I want to make sure that for you guys, whenever I'm conducting a boot camp, I'm taking it further. I'm having so many boot camps planned for you guys. I want to understand how can I improve myself for you. Okay, so a feedback is extremely important for today's class. Today's class attendance will be closed at 10:30. I'm giving you guys 1.5 hours to fill the attendance. It will be closed at 10:30 itself. So please take up your time a little bit. If you have any feedback, any type of like ideas as well on how we can improve our boot camps, or what can we do except the boot camps as well, anything else that you guys want to see from our end as well, please put it down in the feedback. It will really be helpful for us to provide more things to you guys. Okay, because we are planning a lot, but just planning isn't possible. If I'm thinking about something but it is not needed for you guys, then that's of no use. Okay, so please try to provide us with some feedback as well as some ideas as well, that what you want to see from our end. Okay, so that is all that I'm watching, like I want from you guys for today. Okay, that's not a lot to ask, I guess so. But that will be great. So I'm giving you guys 1.5 hours for today. It's almost like if you it's open up till 10:30. Okay, the attendance will be opened up until 10:30 itself, guys, and you can fill it up till that point of time. I'm just creating the QR code for you guys right now. So those who are outside India are eligible for the campus ambassadors and internships. Of course, SOS, you are most welcome to come to the program as well. It will be great. We have people from Africa, we have people from Kenya, we have people from Spain, UK, US, we have people from Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Pakistan, even China and Russia as well. So it will be great to have you guys on board with us. So let us keep this as day 5. Let us download the same. So please provide us with some feedback and some ideas as well, whatever you want to share with us. Today you are having 1.5 hours to fill the attendance sheet up. Okay, it's a lot of time, guys. Please try to make sure that you are doing that. It's extremely important for us. And I'm going to open up the attendance form right now. It's already closed. I'm just opening up the attendance form. Okay, so I've already opened up the attendance form. You can start filling up the attendance form right now. Okay, you can start filling up the attendance form right now. As you're able to see, the attendance form is now opened up. You can start filling the attendance form right now itself. Okay, which career is good, web developer or data scientist? So web developer is a particular thing that I will be suggesting for you guys. It's always safe to go with web developer. What we have been able to see, so the 5,000 students that we have like placed up till now, 3,000 of them were in full stack web development itself, and most of them were able to get a package of an average package of 13.9 lakhs per annum. Whereas for data scientist program, what we saw was that we're able to place almost 2,000 students out of the 5,000 students, and for that the average placement was around 12.7 to 12.5 lakhs per annum. Okay, so I've already shown the QR code. I will just show it once again. This is the QR code for today. You can just reload the QR code itself. I've already shown the QR code for you guys. You can start filling up the attendance sheet as well. Okay, and it would be great. Okay, I will go through your feedback as well so that I'm able to understand. Please provide us with some ideas as well that you want to see from our end so that we are able to execute on that as well. Okay, so what is your response about AI? Please share. SK official, the position for a fresher for AI is either a data analyst, a data engineer, or a data scientist. For that as well is the exact same thing. I will be preferring, if you guys are from tier 2 college from a circuital branch, then choose data science. If you are from any other college, any other branch, any other field of study as well, it's safer to choose full stack web development. Okay, so I've already shown the QR code as well, guys. Just it's working. As you're able to see, we are having almost 263 people who have already filled up the attendance form. So I'll be meeting you guys tomorrow at 7:30 and we'll be continuing from right over there, guys. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll meet tomorrow and we'll have an awesome time ahead. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, guys.